Dating apps just dropped their yearly stats, and man, they are savage. You've got people swiping left on 95% of their matches and then turning around like there are no good partners left. They're demanding six-figure incomes while bringing debt, chaos, and zero reciprocity. They call completely normal preferences toxic, as long as those preferences are coming from men. The mental gymnastics is insane, and I'm not just ranting here. I've got data, real stories, real consultations. So let me walk you through exactly how certain people are nuking modern dating with double standards so wild you'd think I made them up, but I didn't. This is actually happening, and the numbers back it up. Let's start with the attractiveness delusion. Dating app studies show some users rate around 80% of people as below average in looks. Think about that for 2 seconds. How can 80% be below average? This is literally not how averages work. But here's where it gets crazy. The same people calling everyone else 5s at best are rating themselves as 8s and 9s, and they're getting almost no matches from the top-tier people they want. You'd think that reality check would trigger some self-awareness, right? Nope. I had a consultation last week that sums this up perfectly. Early 30s, hasn't had a second date in 2 years. She tells me, dead serious, I'm easily a 9. I won't date below an 8. So I ask her to show me the profile she's rejecting. Good jobs, normal faces, decent style, genuine bios, no obvious red flags. Her verdict? They're all 5s at best. Meanwhile, she's 50 pounds overweight, no consistent gym habit, hasn't held stable employment in 3 years, and her dating strategy is basically I show up, he does the rest. The disconnect from reality is brutal. Then you've got the income expectations, and this one is completely off the rails. Studies show certain people now expect a minimum $150,000 income from a partner. That's top 10% territory. Cool. What are you offering in return for a top 10% partner? I bring myself. That's the whole pitch. No willingness to contribute financially, no domestic skills, no emotional stability, often a pile of student loans and consumer debt. They want a top 10% earner while behaving like bottom 50% partners. One client showed me his ex's new dating profile. Her requirements? At least 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, owns a house, no kids, never married, emotionally stable, and ambitious. Her offerings? 3 kids from 2 different fathers, $40,000 in student debt for a degree she never used, currently unemployed, and her hobbies are brunch and travel. She's been single for 4 years and genuinely doesn't get why. The entitlement is jaw-dropping. The toxic label has become a universal remote. Man wants a fit partner? Toxic. Man prefers someone without kids from previous relationships? Toxic. Man would like some kind of shared domestic contribution? Toxic. But flip it around. They want tall, handsome, wealthy, emotionally available, funny, confident, dominant but not controlling, generous but not controlling with money, completely loyal with options, and that's not toxic. That's just knowing my worth. Using people for free dinners is empowerment, but a guy saying he prefers younger, healthier partners is problematic. Make it make sense. Then there's the body standards hypocrisy. Certain people will clown men openly for being under 6 feet, something you cannot change no matter how hard you work. Short kings need not apply. If you're under 6 foot, you're just a friend. Public mockery, TikToks, memes, no issue. But if a man says, I'd like someone who takes care of their health, suddenly he's a monster enforcing toxic beauty standards. I've seen profiles that literally say, no short men, no small dicks, no broke boys. Imagine a man writing, no fat girls, no flat chests, no gold diggers. He'd get banned, canceled, and probably turned into a viral toxic masculinity example on Instagram. But the first one? Those are just my preferences. The buzzword abuse is everywhere. Every rejection is gaslighting. Every male preference is misogyny. Every boundary is narcissistic abuse. These words don't mean anything anymore the way they're being used. A guy doesn't text back in 10 minutes, he's love-bombing and withdrawing. Or hear this, a friend of mine got called a misogynist for what? Splitting the bill? Misogyny literally means hatred of women. Can we go half on this equal to hatred? It's not. But throwing that word around is easier than saying, I just expected you to pay for everything.
And when you confront this with facts, the emotional manipulation script kicks in. Present data about dating patterns? You're attacking me. Point out contradictions? Tears. Ask for equal effort. You don't appreciate what I bring. Notice how fast the role flips from aggressor to victim. Men don't get that luxury. We cry, we're weak. They cry, we're cruel. Same emotion, different narrative. Some dating coaches are pouring gasoline on this dumpster fire while claiming to be experts. Never text first. Make him wait 3 days. If he doesn't pay for everything, he doesn't care. Then these same coaches jump online crying about how modern dating is broken. Yeah, it's broken because you're literally teaching people to play power games instead of building connection. Funniest part? Half these coaches can't keep a relationship longer than a houseplant. One has 300K followers teaching how to get your dream man, and she's been single for 6 years. Another sells marriage mastery while she's on divorce number 3. But sure, tell men what they want. Clearly, male psychology is your specialty. The resistance to self-improvement is wild. Suggest that getting in better shape might help their dating results? I should be loved for who I am. Okay, then why won't you date the guys with dad bods who also are who they are? Suggest learning to cook or manage a household if they want a traditional provider. That's outdated gender roles. But the provider role isn't outdated, apparently, just the part where you reciprocate. The standards only flow one way. Some individuals honestly think they're entitled to top-tier partners while putting in zero work on themselves. They want CEOs while being unemployed, athletes while being sedentary, intellectuals while never touching a book and living on reality TV. Point out the mismatch and you're negative, anti-woman, or not supporting women. Accountability has been rebranded as hate. Rejection handling? Hilariously one-sided. These are the same people telling men to man up and take rejection, yet one guy doesn't text back and it becomes, all men are trash. One bad date and suddenly, I'm done with dating forever. Meanwhile, men are getting rejected hundreds of times on apps, no matches, no replies, ghosted, unmatched, and are expected to keep pushing with a smile. I literally watched someone have a meltdown because a guy unmatched her after she took 3 weeks to respond. Her conclusion? He's insecure, he's afraid of strong women, he's probably gay. No self-awareness that he just wasn't going to sit in her inbox for a month like a backup plan. The loyalty expectations are insane. Some people want absolute devotion from men while giving almost nothing back. They expect guys to wait months for intimacy, months for clarity, months for commitment, while they explore their options. One client of mine waited 8 months for physical intimacy with a woman who needed time. Later, he finds out she had a one-night stand with a random guy from a bar in month 2. But he was supposed to wait because she saw him as relationship material. The mental gymnastics to justify that could win Olympic gold. Social media made everything worse. Your love life is now content. Guy doesn't open a door? Instagram story. Guy suggests coffee instead of a $200 dinner? TikTok rant. Guy asks to split the bill? Twitter thread. And of course, the context is always missing. He didn't plan anything special for our date. It was the first date from an app. He suggested we go Dutch. You picked a spot that costs half his weekly paycheck. He hasn't texted in 3 hours. You reply once every 2 days. The story is always edited to paint them as the victim and him as the villain. The advice certain people give each other just deepens the mess. If he wanted to, he would. Never settle. You deserve the best. Sounds empowering, but what it actually does is turn normal human flaws into red flags and realistic expectations into settling. The result? A whole generation of perpetually single people who would rather be alone than date someone at their actual level. They're holding out for perfection that doesn't exist, while their own value in the market is declining. Then at 40, it's, where are all the good men? They're with women who didn't try to date like they were shopping for a luxury car. The moving goalpost expectations are exhausting. They want you to be spontaneous, but also to plan everything weeks in advance. They want effort, but not too much effort. They want pursuit, but not chasing. They want attention, but not neediness. The acceptable zone of behavior is microscopic and constantly shifting. I had a client whose date canceled twice, then showed up 45 minutes late the third time, and she got offended when he was a bit distant. She literally said, "I need someone who fights for me." No, you need someone willing to tolerate disrespect. That's not romance, that's desperation. Financial double standards are massive. Some people expect expensive dinners, gifts, trips, lifestyle upgrades. Their contribution is, I'm here. They really believe their presence is equal to thousands in investment. If you question that math, you're not a real man. The career paradox shows up here too. They want a CEO lifestyle, but don't want to support what comes with a CEO's life: long hours, stress, sacrifice. They want the athlete body, but not the diet, training schedule, or discipline that comes with it. They want the benefits without the trade-offs.
Communication style? A disaster. For some, everything is a test. Every question has a wrong answer. Do I look fat is not a question, it's a trap. Where do you want to eat isn't asking for input, it's a test to see if you can magically read their mind. Men generally say what we mean. If we ask where you want to eat, we actually want to know where you want to eat. If we say we're thinking about nothing, we're literally thinking about nothing. But certain individuals project their indirect style onto men and then get mad when we don't solve the puzzle. The emotional labor argument is being used like a cheat code. Remembering birthdays is emotional labor. Listening to your partner is emotional labor. Planning a date is emotional labor. Okay, sure, but somehow financial provision doesn't count as labor. Physical grind doesn't count. High-stress jobs don't count. It's only real labor when they do it. I saw a viral clip of someone complaining about the emotional labor of Christmas shopping for her boyfriend's family. The same boyfriend who paid for everything, planned the trip, drove 8 hours, and handled logistics. She picked out gifts with his money and wants a medal for labor? On dating apps, a lot of these people aren't even trying to date. They're there for validation. They match and never respond. They collect matches like trophies just to feel superior. They complain men don't pursue when they literally ghost 90% of incoming messages. Studies show some people spend more time scrolling and swiping for dopamine hits than actually going on dates. They're not looking for a partner, they're looking for proof they're desirable. Then they cry about being single with 500 unread chats. All men are trash becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you treat every man like a potential villain, the good ones leave. They don't want to be interrogated, disrespected, or treated like criminals. The only ones who stick around are the guys who don't care about how you see them in the first place. I've watched good men get driven away by constant paranoia, phone checks, location tracking, interrogations over every female coworker, and then the story becomes, see, he left. All men eventually leave. No acknowledgement that he left because of that behavior. Friend group validation destroys relationships too. Some people care more about what their friends think than how their partner feels. Every disagreement gets turned into a group chat poll. Every private moment gets screenshotted for analysis. Your relationship stops being two people and becomes a committee where you barely have a say. If the friend circle decides he's not good enough, it's over. Breakups reveal character. Some individuals will torch a guy's reputation over completely normal breakups. He doesn't want a fourth date? He used me. He ends things after realizing incompatibility? He wasted my time. He walks away after being disrespected repeatedly? He couldn't handle a strong woman. And then come the posts, the vague tweets, the TikToks, the smear campaigns. Yes, the pregnancy trap still exists. I personally know men who were lied to about birth control and are now paying child support for kids they never consented to having. They're labeled deadbeats for not wanting to play house with someone who deceived them, while the deception gets brushed under the rug because a child is a blessing. You can think kids are blessings and still acknowledge manipulative behavior. Social media recruitment is standard now. Breakup? Post his pictures with captions like, "Don't trust this man." Argument? Screenshot his texts, remove the part where you insulted him first, and let the internet attack him. Boundary? Call it abuse and go viral. Men's reputations get permanently damaged over one-sided narratives. Then there's the pick-me label. Any woman who treats men well is a pick-me now. She cooks for her man? Pick me. She occasionally pays for dates? Pick me. She doesn't bash men online for clout? Pick me. They've built a culture where being a good partner is seen as betrayal to the sisterhood. So healthy behavior is shamed. Toxic behavior is celebrated. The therapy speak misuse is everywhere too. Every preference is a trauma response. Every no is emotional unavailability. Every breakup is attachment disorder. Some people learn psychology terms and turn them into weapons. Your ex wanting space wasn't automatically avoidant. Maybe you were texting 200 times a day. Your partner disagreeing with your memory isn't automatically gaslighting. Sometimes you just remembered wrong. Retroactive narrative rewriting is another trend. Consensual relationships become manipulation in hindsight. Normal arguments become emotional abuse in retelling. Mutually agreed decisions get reframed as coercion when it's time to play victim. I've literally seen someone claim abuse because their ex asked them to help with rent. Another said she was traumatized because her boyfriend suggested they both hit the gym together to be healthier. Some people need drama like oxygen. Peace feels boring. Stability feels like settling. So they manufacture issues, start fights, create chaos, and then post about how men are exhausting. No, the chaos you're addicted to is exhausting. Hypergamy, dating up economically, is real. Data consistently shows that certain individuals prefer partners at or above their own financial level, while men are far more willing to date laterally or downwards. It's not an insult, it's an observation, but pointing it out gets labeled misogyny because any reality check that challenges the narrative must be shut down.
Then there's the age reality. Fertility declines, looks fade, energy drops. Those are biological facts, not social constructs. Yet some people think they can party their way through their 20s, career grind through their 30s, and then magically secure a top-tier partner in their 40s like it's Amazon Prime. Biology doesn't adjust to your timeline. The consequences of all these double standards are hitting everyone. Good men are checking out. Players are thriving. Families aren't forming. Birth rates are dropping. Society is feeling it. And if you dare point any of this out, you become the villain. The good women, the ones who actually bring value, who understand reciprocity, who are kind, cooperative, supportive, are suffering too. They're getting lumped in with the entitled majority. They can't find good men because those men are burned out, traumatized, wary. I know incredible women who cook, contribute, respect their partners, stay fit, support their man, and they're single because the guys they meet assume it's just another act. The fix requires honesty almost nobody wants. Some people need to lower their standards to match their actual value. Offer what you demand. Treat partners like human beings, not ATMs or emotional support animals. Recognize that relationships are exchanges, not charity. But that message gets rejected because it requires accountability. It's always easier to blame men, blame society, blame apps, blame culture, anything except the mirror. The men who understand this are adapting. They're dating internationally, where appreciation still exists. They're staying single and building wealth. They're choosing peace over drama, freedom over manipulation, solitude over emotional warfare. And the response from certain corners is predictable. Those men are losers anyway. They can't handle strong women. They're intimidated by successful women. No, they're not intimidated. They're just done signing up for bad deals. The future of dating is bleak if nothing changes. You get massive single populations, collapsing birth rates, demographic crises. Look at countries already far down this road. But some people would rather watch everything burn than admit that maybe, just maybe, their expectations and behavior played a role. You've got young men watching all this in real time, seeing their dads gutted in divorce court, their brothers paying endless alimony, their friends falsely accused or publicly dragged. They're doing the math and deciding the only winning move is not to play. The tech that was supposed to make dating easier turned it into a casino of egos. Infinite options, infinite pickiness, constant validation, no accountability. A lot of people on apps aren't looking for love. They're proving to themselves they're above everyone. They match just to ghost. They talk just to disappear. They want the high of being wanted without the responsibility of choosing. Vulnerability is punished too. Men open up, share trauma, share fears, show softness. And later those same vulnerabilities get used as ammunition. You're weak, you're not a real man. Then people wonder why men shut down emotionally. You trained them to. Dating also got politicized. Every preference gets put through an ideological purity filter. Every interaction feels like a test you can fail, socially, morally, politically. It's exhausting. People don't date anymore, they perform. Some individuals want traditional benefits with zero traditional responsibilities. They want providers while mocking provider men. They want protectors while calling protective behavior controlling. They want leadership while demanding to lead. You can't have it both ways forever. And these modern dating coaches, they're selling fantasies. You deserve a high-value man. Okay, how do you become a high-value partner? They rarely cover that part. They push entitlement, not growth, demands, not offerings. They showcase rare exceptions. My friend married a millionaire by manifesting, as if that's a normal path. Planning your life around lottery-level outcomes isn't strategy, it's delusion. The backup plan mentality is gross too, keeping orbiters as emotional safety nets while chasing the exciting guys, stringing along decent men for years just in case. Then when the bad boy phase ends, they expect the backup to say, "Thank you for finally choosing me." That's not romance, that's exploitation. Here's the core truth. Men are responding rationally. When the game is rigged, you walk away. When the deal is bad, you don't sign. When the risk is higher than the reward, you don't invest. Men aren't failing at dating, they're succeeding at risk management. The old shaming tactics don't work anymore. Man up lost its power when manning up meant sacrificing your well-being for someone who wouldn't lift a finger for you. Who hurt you became a meme because the answer for a lot of men is multiple judges, lawyers, and exes. You'll die alone doesn't scare guys when solitary peace sounds better than chaotic partnership. The stats back this up. Marriage rates dropping. Divorce rates still high. Male suicide rates up. Female self-reported happiness down. Birth rates below replacement. These aren't feelings, they're measurable outcomes of a broken system. The women who do get it, who speak up and call for female accountability, get attacked as pick-me's or traitors. The older generation who appreciated partnership are watching this like a slow-motion car crash. They see their daughters vaporizing good men with impossible standards. They see their sons retreating. They see grandkids that will never exist. Their wisdom gets dismissed as internalized misogyny. Basic relationship common sense, be kind, contribute, show appreciation, have realistic standards, build together, has been rebranded as settling. So a lot of men are going their own way, not out of bitterness, but out of logic. They've run the numbers. For many of them, modern relationships offer negative return. So they're opting out and investing in themselves instead.
And here's the plot twist. When men actually walk away, the panic sets in. Suddenly, "I don't need a man" becomes, "Where are all the real men?" The "men are trash" crowd wonders why no one wants to commit. The "I'm independent" chorus starts asking where all the providers are. You got what you said you wanted, autonomy. Now you don't like the price. The future belongs to people who reject this insanity. Traditional communities with functional dynamics, international couples where appreciation still exists, or men who simply choose peace. The current system can't last. Reality, biology, and economics always win in the end. The men who've checked out are not coming back to the same deal. If certain individuals want relationships, the offer has to change. Appreciation has to return. Reciprocity has to be real. Respect has to go both ways. Otherwise, men will keep choosing solitude over chaos. Here's the bottom line. Modern dating didn't just get hard. Some people actively destroyed it by demanding everything while offering almost nothing. They priced themselves out of the market with delusional standards and now face the consequences. This isn't hatred, it's exhaustion. It's not an attack, it's a defense mechanism. Men are simply responding to the environment as it is. The upside? Men who opt out of rigged games are finding happiness, building wealth without funding ungrateful partners, finding peace without constant arguments, living without walking on eggshells. The best revenge is a good life, while others are still endlessly swiping and complaining. To the reasonable women watching, we know you exist. We know you're tired of this circus too. We know you're paying the price for other people's behavior. But until the loud, toxic minority changes or the good ones become more visible, men will continue to protect themselves first. To the men watching, your standards matter. Your boundaries matter. Your peace matters. Don't sign up for bad contracts. Don't reward bad behavior. Don't sacrifice your sanity for someone who wouldn't inconvenience themselves for you. Choose yourself. The evidence is everywhere. The patterns are obvious. Modern dating is being wrecked by double standards so extreme that future generations will look back at this era as a cautionary tale. For those of us living it, the smartest move might be limiting our participation or refusing to play games at all. Now, I want to hear from you. What double standards have you dealt with personally? What wild demands have you seen on dates or profiles? What finally made you tap out of modern dating or change your approach completely? Drop your stories in the comments. Let's document this madness while we're still in it, because one day people might not believe this was real.